Gospel tells of the journey of the Magi and reminds us that we are all on a journey through life ourselves. This comparison of human life to a road or a journey is as old as Christianity itself. You and I are travelers on that road, traveling like the Magi into the unknown. And I think of those 3 wise men from the east setting off on their journey and traveling many a long and weary mile with their strange gifts until at last they reached their destination. And what they found at the end of their journey, the Gospel tells us, was the child and his mother, Mary. And this morning I went for a walk in our town of Perlis here, trying to put a few thoughts together for this evening's Mass. And the film showing at the local cinema was called The Land of Oz, and reminded me of one of the greatest stories ever written for children, The Wizard of Oz. And it tells of a journey a child took with 3 strange companions, a journey from which there is much to learn for our own journey through life. A little child named Dorothy is blown away by a cyclone into the land of Oz, a strange and beautiful place. But she wants to return to her own home, and the only one who can help her to return is the great Wizard of Oz. And so she sets off on a long journey to find him. And on the way she is joined by 3 remarkable companions, each of whom also has a great favor to ask of the same wizard. The first companion is a scarecrow, who wants, a brain, more than anything else in life. And the second is a woodcutter, but he's made of tin, and he yearns for a real, loving heart of flesh. And the third is a cowardly lion, who is searching, as you might guess, for real courage. Now, it's not my job here, and I haven't time to describe all their adventures, but they finally come through after a lot of difficult and painful situations. But the interesting thing is how they came through. When they were in real physical danger, it was always the cowardly lion who somehow managed to fight their way through it and out of it. When the obstacle required an intelligent solution, somehow it was always the brainless scarecrow who figured a way to get around it. And as for the woodcutter made of tin, and who is journeying in search of a heart, he is the first to lend a hand wherever he can, and he's always deeply moved by the plight of others. And the climax of the story comes when they finally reach the great wizard, only to discover that he's not really a wizard at all, and that he cannot grant the requests of this little group that has journeyed to him from so far away. And yet it's not quite true that he's not able to give them what they want, because what he does is to point out that each of them already has what he has traveled such a distance to find. And here the story becomes something more than a story, and the journey more than the journey of just a cowardly lion or a woodcutter made of tin or a scarecrow. Because what the wizard tells them, in fact, is that things like a good brain, a loving heart, and courage can never be had as gifts that someone can hand out to you, but are always earned, and only can be earned along the road of life. And all of us here, and you too sharing this Mass with us, want what these 3 wanted. That is, to become fully men or fully women, to become full persons. Because we know that we're only partly men and partly women, and not full human beings. But we hope, like them, that it will happen to us someday by some sort of magic, by some sort of wizard's wand. But you see, it never happens that way. Courage will belong only to him who, even though his knees are knocking and he's trembling all over, yet acts with courage. We have a young lad playing the organ here in the chapel this evening, and I expect he must be nervous, because he needs a great courage to do this. Maybe he doesn't always have that courage, and maybe a lot of him doesn't want to do it, but he will grow in courage only by doing something like this, and will do far more in the years that lie ahead. And one of the ladies in the choir here has seen a lot of tragedy in her own family this past year, and yet we thank God that she could sing her responsorial psalm so splendidly and with such faith and courage, even in the midst of that terrible pain of loss, and that in coming through it, she found a courage she never even knew she had. And as you listen to us here, lying on your bed or sitting there by the fire, we pray for you that you will make the same discovery, that we come to courage by acting as courageously as we can, even when we are frightened and very much afraid. And in the story, the scarecrow comes to a brain, a real brain, by using the resources he has, even if they are limited. And similarly, we learn from the woodcutter that a heart, a real human heart, can be mine only if I am willing to let it be broken, and broken again and again, and refuse to become soured or hard or embittered. Adeste Fideles, the lovely words of one of our oldest Christmas hymns. Come all ye faithful. Come all ye who would like to be faithful and learn that a heart, a brain, and real courage can be ours only if we walk the road of life and we become full men and women and really human persons, not in seeking escape from the battle, but only in the very heat of the battle of life. Adeste Fideles, come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come to him, maybe be silent before him. Come to him even with empty hands. Come to him even on your cross, and you will find a peace that surpasses understanding. The great promise is that to come to him who was born at Bethlehem is to find coming to birth within us something stronger and something braver, something more joyful and something more kind, something more surprising than ever we knew before, something holier than ever we could have known without a child who was born in Bethlehem. And so we turn to pray.